Josh, huge congratulations being selected for the Paralympics, booking your place going to Paris. Just put into words what it means to you to be selected.
Um, I don't really know if I'm honest. I don't ever really um, sort of put too much importance on anything other than qualifying itself within the year previous to the games where you have to compete to qualify. I think obviously being selected is a massive honour and a privilege as well because obviously qualifying doesn't mean you automatically get selected. The BPA have to approve you going to the games. Yeah, I'm just happy that they've got faith in me to come back and win medals.
And of course, competing not just singles and doubles can be a pretty intense schedule, isn't it?
It will be intense, but it's a lot less vigorous at games than it is normally in competitions like Czech. The tournament just gone. I think I played 15 matches in 3 days, whereas we've got 10 days of competition where I can imagine it's going to be a lot more spaced out and easier to manage.
How much do you enjoy the doubles element?
It's definitely different because in singles, this sort of you've only really got to worry about yourself in regards to making sure you're doing everything you can to win, and obviously in doubles, there's sort of a shared responsibility on doing everything you can to win. So I think it's a little bit different, but it's definitely enjoyable in terms of the fact that there's a bit more togetherness. Just the fact that someone stood next to you trying to win just as much as you are, and ideally winning medals for Great Britain.
I always get the impression with you table tennis players, there's a tremendous bond. Is that right?
Yeah, I think Goraz has always tried to push upon us the fact that we are a family and no one's bigger than anyone else, and we've always got an equal responsibility to represent priority table tennis in the most positive light that you can, and respect each other as well as anyone and everyone else.
So give me an insight then, Josh, how the last couple of months have gone for you. I know it's been pretty intense in terms of qualification, but as we get ever closer now to you heading off to Paris, are you happy with how training's going?
Yeah, very happy. Luckily, the able-bodied part of English, well, GB table tennis has now moved to Sheffield where we are. So thankfully, John, the head coach, has invited um, the players who are local, like centralised in Sheffield, go and practice with some of the able-bodied players pretty frequently over the last maybe 6 to 8 weeks. Obviously, that kind of practice is invaluable. Playing with someone like Liam Pitchford, who's one of, I think he's top 40 in the world able-bodied, which is a massive step up for any of us to compete with, and I definitely think it'll pay dividends at the games due to the fact that we played with that kind of caliber of player.
When you reflect on Tokyo, what do you think were your learnings? I mean, do you like the kind of big tournaments, that kind of pressure and the adrenaline and the atmosphere? Would you say that's something that you enjoy?
Yeah, I think based on past performances, Tokyo was a bit of a unique one with sort of a lack of crowd and it only ever really being athletes and staff members within the hall supporting the athletes on the table. It was definitely strange. Whereas I've played two Commonwealth Games now where COVID wasn't necessarily a thing at those points of time, and I think I definitely thrive off the occasion and the fact that there's always pressure. But when pressure's highest, I do normally feel like I turn up and play some of my best stuff.
Well, you mentioned Commonwealth, obviously winning gold in Birmingham, representing Wales, and now you're representing Paralympics GB. How special is that for you personally in terms of wearing the GB vest?
Um, it's a little bit surreal at times, considering obviously when I first started playing table tennis, I did, well, to my knowledge anyway, I didn't have a disability. It wasn't something that I was aware of. And then coming into the, sort of the power scene, I never expected to have qualified for Tokyo in a relatively short time span that I had to gain the points and to gain the ability to qualify. Um, so yeah, it's definitely surreal and obviously a very unique feeling with it being completely different kit, brand new kit that you get to put on, and it's specifically for those 2 weeks of you competing, and then obviously you get to keep it after. It's normally probably the nicest kit that we do get within those 4 years.
Um, I mean, it's such an exciting moment as we get ever closer. As a fan, we're excited, but for you guys now, it's pretty intense, I guess, going into Paris. But just try to put into words what table tennis has done for you and what sport means to you, Josh.
Well, I think table tennis is sort of, especially from the start with my coach Simon, you'd always sort of drilled into me that if you don't put in maximum effort, you're not going to get the maximum out of anything that you do. And I think just having that constant reminder daily, sometimes being pushed when you are tired, but finding that extra little bit that you do have just allows you to go to a tournament, whether it's the Paralympics or just a normal international open. If you know you've given everything on a day-to-day basis, whether you perform to the best of your ability or you don't perform how you'd like to, you've not left a stone unturned. And I think the fact that it does seem to transfer over quite easily in terms of the fact that if you put in the work that you're capable of putting in, normally, the results pay off. And to be honest, I just enjoy working hard and having something to really focus on a day-to-day basis. And thankfully, I found table tennis and I enjoy playing it. So I think just those two things, the fact that I enjoy it and there's always the option of working hard, I think they just work in my favour. And yeah, I'm very lucky to have found the sport and to be able to continue playing it.
Well, we love watching you. Everyone at Disability Sport Wales is so incredibly proud of you and what you've achieved, and we cannot wait to see you in action competing in Paris. So thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck.
Thank you very much.